Welcome to Your Story is Your Strength podcast, a podcast about how your story or journey through life, its events and activities, is your strength. What is storytelling, and how can your story become your strength? Thank you for joining us today for episode 9, The Painful Stories Have to Be Shared Too. I'm Sarah Locke, your host, and today I'd like to share a very recent story that most definitely has made me stronger, as the most painful ones typically do. I wasn't going to publish a podcast this week as it comes off a holiday. However, I must share it as it's weighing heavily on my mind. My partner was verbally assaulted in the grocery store on Thanksgiving Day. She had run out to get us coffee and whipped cream for our pie. We'd overlooked it, and pie just isn't pie without whipped topping. She was proud of herself and excited to be going to the grocery store, a place she hasn't been in physically in probably 4 years, inside. She masked up as that's how she feels safest and entered the store. She was minding her own business, grabbing gingerbread houses and fun activities to do with the family, when a gentleman approached her, took out his phone, and started recording her, following her through the aisles, commenting about her mask wearing. I wasn't there. I can't give a word-for-word replay, but what I can tell you is what came back to me. A broken, sobbing human that went into a store proud that she could even do that much, and who walked out doubtful of ever being able to go into another store again. She took the time to feel, to have her emotions as I tried to console her and give her the strength she needed to forgive and forget, but to focus on the things that matter, that she went in, that she shopped, and she did the hard things, and to not focus on him or give him any of her power. But I laid awake that night thinking of what I would have said, how I would have responded. I know my partner is passive and triggered from anxiety in high-stress situations. It pains me to think how helpless she must have felt, how lost and afraid it made her. It actually brought back my own personal experiences of this happening. And yes, in a grocery store. What is it where people feel the need when grocery shopping to verbally assault others they don't even know? My partner's still mourning the loss of her father last Christmas, and these holidays are tough for her. All of the firsts without him sharing it with her. She experiences a lot emotionally and in her mind, and none of this is visible on the outside. And I'll touch on why that's important later. I'm not passive, not even a little. When it happened to me, I had just come out as being gay. I was in a supermarket in North Carolina, and as usual, minding my own business, when I noticed a gentleman and his son. He couldn't have been older than 10. They were following me at a distance, and the man was pointing in my direction and laughing. When they got closer, I could hear the man ask his son to go ask it what it is. Was he referring to me as it? He was. He was judging me by the way I was dressed and how I looked. In spandex and a tank top, as it's hot in North Carolina. But I guess it was my muscles and short hair that threw him off. He kept pushing his son toward me, asking him to go ahead and ask it if it's a man or a woman. I don't know if you have ever experienced this yourself, but I have to say, it hurts. It's painful. The sheer fact of knowing that this gentleman was teaching his son that it's okay to act like this and refer to total strangers as it, and to question their sexuality in such a manner, was unnerving. This went on for several minutes. They followed me. He had comments. His son and him giggled. But the boy was being obviously unwilling to do it, but wanted to please his father. So he walked out ahead closer to me, skittishly. And I took this opportunity to turn to him and I said, "Don't let your dad teach you that people can be treated as you are both treating me right now. It's very hurtful. And I'm not turning and questioning his sexuality, but please share with him that I am all woman and I am not sorry that my muscles are larger than his, and make him question his own manhood. I don't know if that was the right way to go about it, but I know the whole situation felt wrong, and I felt like less of a person for a very long time after it happened. In my partner's situation, it's 8 years ago, so I'm older and wiser from when my experience happened. But would I have been able to keep my calm and perhaps turn the tables and make the man calling her out for her mask wearing feel like an ass? Or perhaps just turn his little video into public service announcement, playing into it with sarcasm. Like, oh, thank you, sir, for stopping your day to enter our lives and share your thoughts and opinions with us on Thanksgiving of all days to help educate us on when we should and should not be wearing a mask. And that it shouldn't matter if she was wearing a mask way before COVID because she has an autoimmune disease that even the slightest of illnesses or fever could trigger life-altering side effects or even kill her. Thank you, sir, for letting us know that these things shouldn't affect us, and we should all be so lucky to be like you and not scared or worried for our own well-being and health, but to do as you do. And thank you, sir, for sharing us and showing us that it is okay to jump on someone and judge them without knowing their story and cast shame on them. This world isn't messed up enough, so thank you for making our day that much better by sharing what asshat humans are out there and that they'll judge us and butt into our business and feel that they know best. That our own mental and physical health don't matter. That if you see something that you don't agree with, that it's perfectly fine to approach them and try to verbally abuse them, ruin their day, and record it all. So please go share this while enjoying your holiday dinner with your friends and family. God bless. Is that what I would have said? Probably not, because it's hard in the moment to not be red hot and mad. But having MS and being on a disease-modifying treatment that suppresses my immune system does put me at risk for many things. My partner is simply trying to minimize all risks of any of us getting sick. This gentleman didn't know that. He couldn't know that. And the bigger question is, what makes people like him think it's okay to approach total strangers and talk to them like this, behave like this, destroy their day and maybe even any progress they had made in entering the world again after a pretty horrific pandemic that knocked a lot of us down? It's sad to think that this is the world we live in. But reality is, we do. And it's not getting better anytime soon. But it for sure won't get better if we don't stand up and share our stories like this one. They are painful. And it's incredibly important to remember, in a world filled with differences, be kind. No one deserves to be treated like this for any reason. It's discrimination. It's rude. It's none of your business. If you don't like what you see online, you keep scrolling. If you don't like what you see in the supermarket, turn and walk away. If it isn't directly impacting your life, it's not yours to interfere with. These are basics. If you have an opinion, which we all do and should, keep it to yourself, especially if it's a complete stranger. You don't know what they're going through, the weight that they are carrying invisibly inside. I can only imagine approaching someone unstable and carrying a knife, or worse. What if your words trigger them and they physically turn on you? How would you react to recording someone, teasing them about their mask, and suddenly have a gun to your head? Would you think twice? I think of this often when I'm driving. Road rage is a thing. Follow too closely, they slam on their brakes. Pass them after aggressively following too closely, and they sideswipe you. Or get out to have an altercation, and they get out too and are bigger, angrier, and have a weapon. This shouldn't have to be the scenario we think of before acting, but again, the world is a different place and we have no idea what someone is living with or going through. Just drive. Mind your own business. It could be an invisible disease like MS, or it could be a mental health issue or an internal battle you'd never, ever have guessed. Just be kind. Or like your mother taught you, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. All she wanted to do was get coffee and whip topping and enjoy her holiday with family. One person brought her simple day way, way down. Pause, think, and perhaps just walk away. Thank you for joining me today, and until next time, own your story, tell it well, even if it hurts, and share it often.